to our picks. Steve, you got to pick first. Iowa State and
at Kansas State.
Kansas
State, 3.5-point favorites. They're the home team. I'm going with Iowa State, and I'm taking the points plus the 3.5.
Okay.
I think Iowa State. I trust their quarterback. Was it Rocco Becht? I think is his name.
I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his name. But I just trust him more. I trust the experience that they have. Kansas State, for me, with Avery Johnson, they're just kind of up and down. And he can be hot and cold, up and down. I think Iowa State, a good team again this year. I think that they're going to get off the blocks, hot, fast start. I like them plus the points, and honestly, I would take them for people who like the money line. I would jump on that money line. I didn't even look to see what it is because I like them straight up, but I'm taking them plus the 3.5. Iowa State plus 3.5.
We sprinkle in money lines every so often, but we do pick the spreads here on the Big Mountain. So our first pick of the 25 football season is Iowa State. Out of a conference we don't follow.
Yes. I had to pick something.
I know. I appreciate you doing that.
And I was going.
I'm not giving you a hard time. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And I was going to pick the Hawaii Stanford game, but I'm like, well, JY's already going to pick.
I'm going to pick that. Yes.
I wanted to give you. I didn't want to stomp on your glory.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Okay. So we're going to go to my picks.
Okay.
We're going to start with the 3 week 0 picks, and then I have 2 more week 1 picks that I'm going to give you tonight because I like the lines so much. We got to get on them.
That's what we do on the Big Mountain.
That's how we roll. So the first one is the Fresno State at Kansas game. Kansas, a team that can score points. They still have Daniels there as their quarterback. They gave fits to UNLV early on in their game last year until the defense woke up, which was typical for UNLV. They would make halftime changes like no other team, and they would shut everybody out. But, man, I'll tell you what, Kansas was just running all over UNLV in the beginning part of that game. And, this is a Fresno State team, a lot of new faces, new coach, a lot of turnover. The skill positions here, the names that you're used to hearing, the Mikey Keens, the Sherrods, the receivers that they had there over the past couple years, they're all gone at this point. They still have a good defense. I'm concerned about their skill positions. I know Kansas can put up points. Week 0 at home, I've got to take Kansas at minus 12.5. A fairly large spread, but they are at home, and I just trust Kansas to put up points here in this game. So I'm sorry for our Bulldog fans, and I'm sorry for our Mountain West fans, because I'm not taking a Mountain West team. I'm taking the Jayhawks.
I don't blame you at all. I like the Jayhawks by 2 touchdowns. And yeah, honestly, I think people have to be realistic with their expectations this year for Fresno. It's a rebuild. It really is a rebuild. And I think, like I said, they need to temper their expectations, and I like the pick.
Yes, Moses is in the house. Good to have you here from Illinois. Moses, I'm getting you into the hat for a drawing later on. All right, let's go to my next one. This is UNLV versus Idaho State. This is the game that got moved up into week 0. And for all of our UNLV fans, I know we've just had some people join us. Las Vegas Larry's been with us. We've got Tommy Gunn. We got Sergeant Morhew. Tomorrow, we will be dropping a UNLV preview with Tony Cordasco. It is a phenomenal preview. I can tell you, when I recorded it yesterday, I was so stoked for the season. I was so stoked for UNLV.
Yep.
I wanted to watch them play football that night. And I'm not going to give anything away, but I'm telling you, he's been at every practice this fall. He talks about the offense, the defense. I asked him to kind of compare and contrast last year's team with this year's team. He gives us his biggest strength, the biggest weakness, or not weakness, question mark. About a 30-minute convo, and I could have gone on and on, but I had a meeting I had to get to.
Dude, you texted me, I think, right when you were done recording, and you're like, football in 5 days, let's freaking go!
Yes. Tony was fantastic, and I can guarantee you, thank you, Tommy, he's a Vegas legend, been there for a while, covers everything. He runs, actually, the Golden Knights.
Oh, yeah.
What is it, Locked On Golden Knights or something like that? And I said, well, next time we have him on, we're going to have to talk hockey because I'm a hockey guy too. But so Idaho State, UNLV, I got to take the Rebels at minus 26.5. I'm telling you, I think this offense is going to be able to run down people's throats. I don't want to give away too much with my conversation with Tony. I'm really high on this offense. I'm not quite as high on the defense, but I think they're going to put up plenty of points for UNLV to cover this spread at 26.5. Kind of Mullen's first game out in Vegas. I think they're gonna put up a ton of points.
So real quick, I don't know anything about your conversation with Tony yet. I have no details, so I can't spoil anything.
No.
But just want to reiterate, I'm so excited for seeing this Dan Mullen offense with these two quarterbacks.
Yes.
I mean, it takes me back to, and I have no love for the Florida Gators. Screw them, whatever. Okay. But that offense that year where it was Tim Tebow and Chris Leak together, and he was the offensive coordinator. He rotated them. He's done such a good job with quarterbacks, especially athletic quarterbacks. The dude, to me, and we talk about like Steve Sarkisian, we talk about Ryan Day, some Chip Kelly as like some of the best play callers. To me, Dan Mullen is maybe the best offensive play caller in the country. And I know he's the head coach, but I think he's going to have some packages that really utilize both of the quarterback skills. Alex Orji struggled at Michigan, throwing the ball. But this dude in this UNLV offense, even if it's just packages, even if he's not the starter, just packages here and there, is going to mess some people up.
Well, I'm picking spreads. Tommy Gunn's giving us the score. He says it's going to be 52-14. That's what he says. Yeah. So I missed a poll. See, I've got my whole script and I missed it. I'm going to go back to Fresno. I want everyone to tell us how many wins is Fresno State going to have this season. So new poll, how many wins will Fresno State have this season? Will they have 10 or more, 8 to 9, or 7 or less? How many wins is Fresno State going to have this season? All right, let's move to my next pick. We've got the Hawaii versus Stanford game, the game you said you would have picked, but you knew I was picking, so thank you. And you can certainly chime in on this. I love this Hawaii team. I think their offense is going to be amazing. The Mountain West has been putting out the top 5 of different positions. They did the wide receivers today. Both Senecal and Ashlock are in the top 5. The 2 top receivers in Hawaii are in the top 5 of the Mountain West. I think rightfully so. They do have a young quarterback. He's going to make mistakes, but you saw what he can do against UNM last year. That's not going to be every game, but they return a lot of guys, a lot of players here. A very experienced team. Of course, Stanford's traveling to the islands here in week 0, a team you're not high on at all. I really expect good things from Hawaii. So I've got to take Hawaii minus 2.5 at home to beat Stanford easily by 3 points.
Yeah, for me, I think I love the pick. I think Stanford is probably maybe the worst P4 team. Like, they're right there, maybe with a Purdue. I don't know. I can't even think of anyone else. I think they're really going to struggle this year. Honestly, their roster and what they have, it looks like a D2 team, not even an FCS team.
Okay.
I really think, and I have a lot of respect actually for Stanford and the way they've tried to run their program.
Sure.
High academics. They had a coach leave. It's a rebuilding year.
Right.
Andrew Luck has come in and tried to rebuild the program. I have a lot of respect for Andrew Luck.
Right.
I think just this year Stanford is going to be really, really bad. And I think Hawaii, I'm big on Hawaii this year, as I think you are. And I love their offense, their quarterback and wide receiver combination. I think they're going to score a lot of points. So this game, I love the pick, and I'm excited. I hope I get to catch some of this game.
I do too. I expect to. And so I'm going 2-1 for the Mountain West. Straight up. Win 2, lose 1. And I think that'd be a nice starting week 0. Let's close the poll on Fresno State. Let's see where people think the Bulldogs are going to end up this year. We have 64% saying 7 or less. And that's not too surprising. 5%, which would be, I think, 1 vote, said 10 or more. I will eat crow if they win 10 games this year.
Yeah.
So now let's put up our next poll, because I just talked about Hawaii, and it's the same question with Hawaii. How many wins is Hawaii going to have this year. Same type of deal. 10 plus, 8 or 9, 7 or less for the Rainbows.
I got to think that we got to have some Bulldogs fans must be watching tonight and voting, or maybe just their fellow other teams are rooting for them because, man, that's going to be tough to go 10 plus wins this year in a real rebuilding year.
Yeah. I think 8 or 9's pushing it. I'm when people saw my preview, I'm 7. Yeah. So, all right, let's go to. We got the other poll up. That's right, Hawaii. I got to make sure I'm on my notes. Okay, so those were the 3 week 0 games, right? Those were the 3 week 0 games. Now I'm going to week 1, and this is a Thursday night game. This is the UNLV at Sam Houston game. The line surprises me here. Mm-hmm. I think if they put up some points in week 1, which I think they can do, I think this line's going to move, which is why I'm giving you this line. I actually put it out on X earlier this week. I'm taking UNLV minus 12.5. This Sam Houston defense is very inexperienced. Yes, they had a good season. They had a great season last year, but they have lost a ton of talent, a ton of experience on defense. I just talked about the UNLV offense. Yeah. I think it's going to be hard for Sam Houston to stop UNLV from putting up points. And I think this line moves. I like it at 12.5. I think, and I know they're going to Texas. I'm not overly concerned about that, to be honest with you. So I'm taking, again, this is that Thursday night game in week 1, minus 12.5 UNLV.
I like it. I agree with you. It's going to move. I could see this definitely moving over the 2 touchdown, kind of that key mark.
Yeah.
So if you want to bet UNLV in this game, this might be your only chance to get it under that 2 touchdown mark. So I think it's a good early line.
And when I put this out on X, I think it was on Monday, I went, man, I hope this line doesn't change. Yeah. Which, it's a week 1 game. UNLV, Sam Houston, probably not. So it hasn't changed. I think it is going to change as we get past this weekend. So I really like that pick. And then I have to do. All right, so let's close the Hawaii poll. Now I'm doing too much.
Boom, boom, boom.
So let's close the Hawaii poll.
Boom.
We'll see what everybody says for Hawaii. See if they get a little bit more love than what the Bulldogs got. So we've got 7 or less at 70%. Wow. 8 or 9 wins is 29%, and nobody going for 10 or more. Not surprised that we're not going to have 10 anymore. I'm a little surprised that maybe we didn't have a couple more votes for the 8 to 9 wins.
Yeah.
But they're right there in that 7-8 wins. So I get that. That's a little bit of a hard pick there. Last poll is UNLV. Got to do it. How many wins is UNLV going to have in this season? Same type of deal. 10 plus, 8 or 9, 7 or less. I have a funny feeling this poll might be spread out just a little bit more than those last 2, Steve.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
Marco says you need a refill.
No, we're getting close to the end.
Okay.
I only got one more pick to go. And then we're going to give away our hat, and then we're going to call it a night. All right, so we got the UNLV poll up. Make sure you give that a vote. And my last one is, I think it's the Friday game. Okay. I believe it's a Friday night. Boise at USF. I'm going to pick this game right now. Boise at USF. I struggled with this a little bit. I think this is a hard out of the gate for Boise. But I like Boise, and it's under that touchdown, so I'm going to pick Boise at minus 6.5 to beat USF by at least a touchdown. And so that's my pick on that Friday. Again, this is week 1, Friday, August 29th, Boise, minus 6.5. I think they want to come out and show that, hey, we weren't a one-hit wonder with Genty. I think they are going to have a more balanced offense. I still think they have a great defense. I think their secondary probably has improved. That was the area I was concerned about last year. So, yes, I know they're going across country down into Florida in a late August game. I get all that. They were in Georgia for, their first game last year. So, they're used to going south and playing in the heat. But I like Boise here. I think they go off and running. And I think they cover this spread of 6.5. And I like it now in case it moves. Again, we talk about that 7. Yep. I like it now to get them, at that under that touchdown.
Yep, I love it.
So that's it, Steve. We did some picks, man.
I'm excited. I can't wait to watch real football. Not that NFL professional babies crap. Real football, college football. Yeah.
You know what? I tried to watch a little NFL
It's so boring.
preseason, and it's so slow.
Yes.
So slow.
Yes.
And I know it's preseason, but oh my gracious.
Yeah.
The thing that irks me about college, though, on the big networks, which is why I like watching my Mountain West, they stretch those suckers to 4 hours. The commercials
Especially
they put
Fox.
into
Fox is
oh,
notorious
it's
for it, yeah.
disgusting.
Yeah.
But you know,
That's why I watch the games in person at Penn State and Happy Valley.
yeah, maybe.